are gonna draw a couple pumpkins because I never know which kind she's gonna pick. So first we need to draw, usually when she goes to the pumpkin patch, do you wanna see? This is Puka, and she picks out her pumpkin. Okay, so we need to help her with a pumpkin. So usually when you go to the pumpkin patch, right, there is like a bunch of dirt.
Right, it's a Halloween.
They kind of sit on the ground, it's super dirty, and she likes it actually. And so we're gonna draw a line all the way from one side to the other. And I'm gonna draw maybe, sometimes when you see them, if they're out in the fields, they have maybe little rows that you can see. So it just depends on the pumpkin patch that we're gonna go to. So I'm gonna draw some lines to go all across. And these are just kind of like my version of the rows at the pumpkin patch. And so what I'm gonna do is I feel like, you know, she either picks an oval shape, like a tall one, or she picks the short one. So I wanna draw the big one first. So let's draw an oval. We're gonna start at the top and we're gonna go around. This almost looks like a big jelly bean. Go around, make it a little wavy. Sometimes they have little bumps and stuff on them. And then I want to draw the shorter one. So this one is going to go this direction. Kind of make it a little wavy. You know, sometimes they have bumps. We'll add the bumps. So this is just their big shapes. And then I think the other thing is we can also add a bunch of little pumpkins because sometimes there's those little tiny like baby pumpkins. So you can add as many as you want. I'm gonna add 3, okay? So for my little pumpkins, I like to draw them really small. They're like jelly beans. They also look, you know, like, look, it's as big as my finger. So I'm gonna draw a bunch of those first. I'm gonna draw maybe some like tall ones. Maybe one more. Put one more like right here. Which kind of makes these guys look like giants, right? These are like the 10-pounders. These are probably like the 1-pounders or half a pound. They're little. Okay, so we're gonna add, hold on, let me check. So with our rows, we wanna thicken them. So we're gonna take your pencil or your pen. We're just gonna make them a little thicker. I'm gonna just, I don't know, that's pretty good. So nice and thick. We're also gonna thicken the ground. So we're gonna make it a little bit heavier. So this line is thick. And if you look, this line is thin, right? So we got thick and thin. Okay, so now pumpkins, of course, they have stems. And usually when I carve them or pick them up, I would snap them off. So I'm not gonna do this year. I'm gonna pick them up by their whole body. I'm not gonna pick up the stems. So I would like this one to have a kind of a triangle stem. So we'll start with kind of like we're gonna make a triangle. So we go up, except for I wanna also make it be like it was cut off. So it kind of got cut, and then we're gonna go in. So it is kind of a triangle shape, but this is the part where like they cut off the stem. This guy is just gonna have a straight up like rectangle. Just kind of like a chunky, it's like a chunky stem. Okay, now we gotta add the details, right? And details are like really tiny parts of a drawing. So I think we're gonna add a couple lines to our stem. Because stems tend to have like grooves in them. We're going to add 2 here. And we're going to add 2 here. And then look at all these little pumpkins. So these little guys are going to need stems as well, but they're going to be much tinier. So I made these like little tiny rectangles, super tiny, because these are like baby pumpkins.
Right.
They're so small. Okay, so we've got this. Okay, so here is the part. Pumpkins tend to have these like grooves in them. I'm sure you've seen pumpkins. So they're not always like flat. Sometimes they have these grooves. So we need to draw those in. But here's what we're gonna do first, because I need you guys to help me with the face. So I know there's different types of faces. So I'm gonna draw my own face, but I know a lot of you have already made pumpkins, so you do not have to copy mine. You can draw your own type of face, own eyes, your own nose, your own mouth. Okay, so you can copy me, but you don't have to. So I think I might draw, I think this one's gonna have ovals. And this one will probably, wonder what his nose should be. Maybe this one can have like a little tiny circle. And I want him to have like a really happy face. So I'm gonna start here, but I like when they have teeth. So I'm gonna draw kind of a rectangle, and then it's gonna go up, and then it's gonna go all the way across like a big, like an upside down U. So this guy is just gonna be my super happy one. And I wanted to draw the face first before we drew the lines, because sometimes those lines go through like the face. So I'm going to draw a line here, right? And then we're going to keep going all the way to the bottom. To see how it's behind these shapes. So I'm going to draw one more in the middle, right? And we go behind the circle. And then my last one is going to go behind the shapes, just like this. This pumpkin, I'm going to make it have the traditional like triangle eyes. So I'm going to start here and go up. So I got a triangle. We got to make another one more. And then I also like the triangle nose, just like traditional pumpkin. And this guy's going to have maybe more teeth. So same thing, he's going to be a happy pumpkin. We're going to add 1, 2, and then we're going to go and make this big smile. So on this pumpkin we drew the lines, we will do the exact same thing on this one. So the lines are going to go behind. So there's 1 part, 2 parts. We got our 3rd line goes behind. And then our 4th line, or sorry, 3rd line is going to go behind. So now we got 1, 2, 3 lines. So the only thing I think we could do last with the pumpkins is sometimes it's nice to like shade these eyes and nose, shade these in. So you can take like your pen or pencil, you can just kind of go and make these a little darker. So I'm going to fill mine in. And you guys can go through and you can fill both of the pumpkins' features, their face. You can fill both of those in. sometimes I know like sometimes I rush when I color. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm coloring so quick. And sometimes I color super slow, but I think today maybe is a fast coloring day. I kind of like these little guys. They're super cute. Actually, I think my dog's gonna really love their faces. I think she's gonna love getting her pumpkins. I don't know if that's weird that a dog gets pumpkin, but I think she's been doing it for 13 years. So all right, now the rest of these guys, maybe. So these guys are like in the patch. These guys are examples of what pumpkins could look like when we carve them. These guys, I'm just gonna give them little curly cues. Right, sometimes the vines are cut and they're left and they don't cut them off all the way. They just leave these little tiny curls, right? So it's kind of like a little spiral. I think that might be all I'm gonna add to my pumpkins today.